Welcome back in. We are live at Smoky Stadium. We are here because it's the final game ever here in Kodak. They've been here since 2000. We'll talk about that just a little bit later on. But I appreciate all these guys for driving up here this morning, navigating the rolling roadblocks on the interstate. Thanks to the Tennessee Highway Patrol for their help. Chuck Cavalera's right here. Chuck, thanks for being here. Sterling Hinton, VFL, thanks for joining us, man. All right. Did you lose? Are you up? I figured you'd be worn out after 71-0 last night.
That was a warm up, baby. Even push some of the cheerleaders, baby. I'm ready to ride.
Good deal. All right. We always run through 3 questions. We do it every week, regardless of win, lose. Well, there is no more draw, but you get the gist. These are tough questions. So if you sit there, why are they saying that after a win? Because we're going to say it after a loss too. We say it every week. So here we go. Best player on the field. I will start with Bob.
I'm going to go with Dylan Sampson.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he is explosive. I'm really excited about this week because before the season, I said, hey, is he going to be able to do what Jalen Wright did between the tackles, run with the power? And this week we're going to find out. I've changed my mind about that. I think he is now. I don't think he's the same kind of back as Jalen Wright. I think he's got more wiggle, more breakaway speed. But I think he is a much tougher, better runner. I think he has outstanding vision. So I'm going to go with Dylan Sampson, best player on the field.
Excellent player. Sterling.
I'm co-side. I'm right there with Bob on Dylan Sampson. I mean, it's amazing how you read some of these things online and people say, well, he doesn't look as explosive as he was last year. Doesn't look as quick as he was last year.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing it with so much more explosion, and his quickness is less motion in his quickness. So he's not doing all this. He got around one DB as if he was a cone yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Gave him a shake,
Yes.
got around him and got back straight on that same stride. So that takes an incredible amount of training, and I'm happy for the success he's having right now.
He's added some weight. He's bulked up a little to try and probably be a little bit more like the Jalen Wright. The one thing we haven't seen from Dylan Sampson so far, and they haven't needed it, no one's been able to tackle him for the beginning, but Jalen Wright would get guys on his back and carry them.
Get five yards with 3 guys on.
We haven't seen that yet. Maybe this is the week we see it.
It raises the question. When does somebody mention Dylan Sampson?
I was just getting ready to.
Dylan Sampson Heisman. Okay, well,
You know,
How about Deshaun Bishop?
well, now, wait a second. I thought you were about to say Dylan Sampson.
Dylan Sampson. Yeah, Dylan Sampson. But
Deshaun
you
Bishop.
were 1 yard away from having 3 rushers with 100 yards, right?
Yeah.
How long has that been since that happened?
Wow.
So you had 2. I mean, and we could say a lot of the same things about Deshaun Bishop, right? He looks bigger, faster. I don't think
He's got
you
more burst
lose,
than I thought.
Right. I don't think you lose a whole lot. And it was good to see Peyton Lewis out there. I didn't realize he had 99 yards rushing.
All right, so best player on the field, Dylan Sampson, though?
Yes.
All right, worst decision.
Oh,
That
gosh.
could be either team, that could be coaches, that could be
Well,
whatever.
I think the worst decision was not accepting the running clock when Kent State had the chance to do that in the second half. And I've got one more if I could sneak it in. If you want me to hold off, I can.
No. We'll come back to you on the next one.
right.
On the running clock, worst decision. Everybody's going to say that, I think. There's a lot of people thinking that. I just think you might as well shut your program down if you do it. I don't see how you recruit. That is, you were telling your team that we can't compete with the big boys, and also you're telling every recruit in the country this is a peewee team. We play by peewee rules. I get it.
Yeah.
It would have looked better, but I don't think you could have done it.
A coach is always a coach, no matter what level he's coaching. And coaches are the most incredible, competitive people out there, and they're not going to just take something like that and discount their team that they prepared all week to get ready for.
And for the viewers at home, Tennessee offered it, right?
Yes, Tennessee offered it.
and Kent State said
And that was classy, but still, coaches.
It happens in all other college sports, just about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other?
I mean,
you really want the worst decision?
Yeah.
The day Kent State was on the other end of the phone and said, yeah, we'll show up in September of 24. It'll be great.
I've got one more.
See, I would say the day Danny White picked up the phone and called.
Yeah.
Called
I'm
them.
sorry. I'll save this for biggest disappointment. Go ahead, Chuck. Well, the other worst
Not the
decision.
quarterback not going under center. I mean, you got a freshman or a center that can't shap out of the shotgun, right?
Yeah, but apparently they don't do that.
Well, that's who we are. We're Kent
right.
State.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so you have
How
what,
often do you see Tennessee go under center?
5 snaps Well, then give the center a Valium. Calm him down. They said he was nervous. Well, calm him down.
Yeah,
That was
bad.
pathetic, you know.
But if they could go under center, try. So, okay, bad decision to not do that. Biggest disappointment. I'll give you mine because I almost hinted at it. Biggest disappointment for me, this is just, and this isn't anti-Tennessee. If I flew to Foxborough to watch my Patriots and they ran out Harvard to play them, I'm not going to be excited. I'm going to be upset because this is not a real game. I want to see real competition. My biggest disappointment is while Alabama was going and kicking Wisconsin's tail on the road, you're here playing the worst team in college football, and you're going to play the next worst team in college football later in the year.
And you've already played Chattanooga.
And you've already played an FCS team.
Right.
It's atrocious scheduling. I just got a real problem with it. It's my only problem with Danny White. He schedules like a coward.
I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to go, my biggest disappointment in a game that was so offensively nearly perfect was the starting offensive line. Because I thought a few times they let Nico be knocked off his spot. Nico got knocked off his spot. He almost threw one interception down the field. He was rolling to his right. He tried to come back, and luckily the defensive backs weren't good enough to react to it. And he took some hits in a game where he shouldn't have been taking some hits. Now, it was with the ground, the hardest one.
He had a slide, that's what you're going to. That was my biggest disappointment.
But I thought if you let them, I think for the game, they were officially credited with 4 pressures. It doesn't seem like a big deal.
But it is.
But that is the worst defensive line you're going to see the rest of the season because I don't even think El Paso will be.
And with Nico, it has to be a disappointment, but he still hasn't been able to slide and get down and protect himself. You look at all the former Tennessee quarterbacks that seem like have a problem with that.
Sterling Hinton, biggest disappointment. You mentioned last week.
Yes.
James Pierce.
Yeah.
He's now gone 3 games without a sack.
And I think he's just coiling for that explosion next week, my friend. I mean, I don't even think James has 50 plays on the season. He hasn't played a lot. I think he's fresh. We know what he's capable of. And boy, when they unleash the beast, I'm ready, baby. Let's get it going.
All right, good deal. If there's ever going to be a time to unleash the beast, it's this week at Norman, Oklahoma. All right, when we come back, we'll go back to the studio. We got 3 more members of our panel. We're going to go back to Josh, Daniel, Marlin. They're going to talk about whether Oklahoma is as good as we thought before the season. I think right now everybody's feeling good. The Lions are going to come in and set the Vols up as a heavy favorite. We'll see what Chuck does later. But I want to know, are we now suddenly lulled to sleep about Oklahoma? We'll kick it back to the studio next, and it's back to Smoky Stadium a little later. Come on back on the Sports Source.